Hi, Andrew Bell. Great to be with you once again. We all know that the Brisbane has secured the 2032 Olympics, and I can well recall my time when I was on the first bid committee to win the 2018 Commonwealth Games for the Gold Coast, and then my period on the organising committee in the lead up to those games. It goes so fast, and before you know it, we will be trying to buy tickets and secure our seating for the opening ceremony of the 2032 Games. The question that I increasingly get asked now is, what effect will the Olympic Games have on southeast Queensland? Of course, referencing the real estate market. I did a lot of research on this in the lead up to the Commonwealth Games, and if I've used that experience and the Games itself, it actually triggered some $18 billion in infrastructure spending. It forced improvements in roads and rails, it forced the development of building sporting venues and so on, a host of other government investment in infrastructure. It also had the trickle-down effect of a huge amount of spending on infrastructure by private enterprise. I'll give you an example.
Certainly.
I remember at the time we were doing for the bid for the Commonwealth Games, that then somewhat very tight Star Casino said, if we won the rights to the Commonwealth Games, they would spend $345 million to do a major renovation and the overhaul of Star Casino. Well, look at it today. We have the new Darling, we have 2 new residential high-rise buildings and a third to be built, and the whole of the infrastructure was improved. Now, Pacific Fair just across the road saw the investment that was being made into the casino, and they realised not only could they benefit from the increased patronage of the casino, but they were looking very, very tight themselves. So they embarked upon an $840 million complete refurbishment, making it one of the best shopping centres in the Southern Hemisphere. Now, I could go on and on with more examples of how that $18 billion manifested in our city. I have no doubt that the pandemic had a huge effect on the Gold Coast. So many people escaped from other parts of Australia to our city, and when they got here, they thought, wow, how good is the Gold Coast? And it started a huge migration that forced up real estate prices. It was good for those who own real estate, and I understand the frustration for those who don't. But the linkage was there. The Commonwealth Games, to huge infrastructure spending, to beautifying the city with lots of new attractions that has driven a huge population migration and increased property values. You know, there's an old adage that says, build it and they will come. I have no doubt that the 2032 Olympic Games will have the same effect on southeast Queensland. It doesn't mean every suburb and every street and every property will get the same benefit. The greatest benefit always comes from those closest to where all of the infrastructure spending occurs. Victoria Park is the site of the new stadium. You can bet that they're going to see significant growth in the property values around that area. But so will we here on the Gold Coast, where we have areas like Southport and Labrador that are the locations for some of the Olympic Games competitions. So in summary, there is no question that southeast Queensland as a whole will get a big uplift. No one can quantify what that is, but the most important thing is that it will put us on the map and make an increasing number of people want to own property here. And that supports and drives real estate prices. The clear message is to get in early before the uplift, because we're already seeing people making their real estate moves because of the Olympic Games. Look forward to being with you in a fortnight's time, and until then, enjoy our cooler weather, remembering that our weather is so much better than most other parts of the world.